Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and continuing the Superman and Batman movie reviews. Here to finish off the Burton Schumacher Batman movies with a review of Batman and Robin. Oh my gosh. This movie freaking sucks. Plain and simple. I mean, seriously, this is just complete shit. Alright? I mean, seriously, this could quite possibly be the worst superhero movie of all time. Alright, I mean, like I said before, this, Superman 4, and the new Fantastic Four movie are like the three contenders for the worst superhero movies of all time, and I would say this one is definitely the worst. I mean, yeah, everybody has completely trashed this, and yeah, everybody has just, yeah, given this all the hate, and yeah, it deserves every bit of it. And so, yeah, yeah. Thank goodness Tim Burton didn't have anything to do with this one. I mean, yeah, he was producer for Batman Forever, but here he was gone from the series altogether, and thank goodness for it. I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah. So, it's such a good thing Tim Burton did not have to be a part of this this abomination. Seriously. I mean, yeah, all the enjoyment of the first two Batman movies and also Batman Forever, all that is completely gone with this movie. This movie is just absolute stupid. Alright? It's just absolutely stupid. Alright? I mean, seriously, this just feels like we're going back to Adam West territory. Alright? I mean, that's how this movie feels, especially with all the stuff with Batman and Robin and taking out, like, all the villains and their fight scenes. I mean, seriously, this is just absolute crap. Alright? I mean, and we have, of course, like, the terrible casting for this movie. I mean, have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I mean, whose idea was that? Seriously, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's not the right choice for this, alright? And plus, he's awful in this movie, alright? And you also have George Clooney as Batman. Terrible. I mean, whose idea was that? I mean, yeah, George Clooney was just the wrong choice for this, alright? I mean, I'm not sure why they couldn't get Val Kilmer to come back, but George Clooney was just the wrong choice for a replacement. Alright, I mean, he is absolute crap in this movie. I mean, yeah, and he's easily like the worst Batman of all. Alright, I mean, seriously, I mean, he doesn't even try, alright? Seriously, I mean, he may as well just like take the mask off and just show who he really is. I mean, he doesn't even try as Batman. Seriously, I mean, he's awful. Yeah, have Chris O'Donnell returning as Robin, but yeah, he's pretty bad in this also. I mean, he has a bunch of terrible one-liners in this, and yeah, yeah, and Mr. Freeze also has so many bad puns in this movie. I mean, has a bunch of different ice puns in the movie, and they're all just so bad. Yeah. And yeah, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, she's not good. I mean, she's not horrible in the role, but yeah, she just seems like she really doesn't care about this. Yeah. And Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl in this. Yeah, just no comment for that one, yeah. Yeah, you also have Michael Goff and Pat Hingle returning once again as Alfred and Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, 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 and of course you also have the awful performance with Jeep Swenson as Bane. Yeah, I put all three villains in this movie. You may remember in my Batman villains list. Yeah, I put all three of them at the bottom of the list. Yeah, the three villains in this movie are easily the worst Batman movie villains of all time. Really, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Uma Thurman, and Jeep Swenson. Like they're all just really bad in the movie. Yeah, and plus also the movie really does not have that good of a plot either. I mean, yeah, I mean you just have like a crapload of subplots in this movie. I mean, seriously. I mean, you have the stuff going on with, like, Mr. Freeze wanting to cure his wife and doing the research on how to cure her disease, yeah. Also have the subplot of Alfred dying, which I really don't see why we needed that. And plus, I mean, you couldn't just have had Alfred be dying of old age. You really had to give him the stupid disease that doesn't even exist. Yeah, and yeah, you just have like so many different subplots in the movie, and you also have like the subplot of like Bruce, who's like not trusting Dick in the movie, and yeah, he's just tired of it. And yeah, and just so many subplots in the movie, and really, I mean, just these don't make the movie interesting. Seriously, I mean, the movie just sucks. I mean, the acting sucks, the plot sucks, the action scenes really suck. The, if you can even call these action scenes, just fighting scenes. I mean, they're just so dumb and over the top. This movie is just far too silly and goofy. Just, oh man. And yeah, and of course in this movie also have the Bat credit card. Seriously. Yeah, this movie just, yeah, everybody has said it. The movie freaking sucks. Yeah, I give this movie, I don't know, 0.25 stars out of 4. I don't even know why I'm doing that. I could easily just give this movie 0 stars, but yeah, for some reason, I don't know why. I'm giving this 0.25 stars out of 4. Seriously, I mean, the movie is just stupid. It sucks. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you honestly like this movie, then I just, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I just don't know what to tell you if you like this movie. I mean, especially if you've seen like all the other Batman films. I mean, if you actually like this movie or even think it's better than any other Batman movies, like if you think this is better than Batman Forever, I mean, seriously, I mean, I don't know what to say to you because this is easily the worst Batman movie ever made and quite possibly the worst superhero movie ever made. Seriously, I mean, movie is just complete crap. Yeah. Yeah, alright, so yeah, let me just get right into it. I'm probably just gonna zoom through this really quickly because, I mean, seriously, it's honestly really painful. Yeah. So, the movie ends up with Batman and Robin suiting up and heading out to stop Mr. Freeze. And yeah, there's a new Batmobile in this movie, and this one looks absolutely horrible. Seriously, I mean, it looks like he had like a disco ball or something inside of the Batmobile under the hood. But yeah, and also like there's no roof for this Batmobile. I mean, it just looks stupid. Yeah, and then Robin rides the Redbird motorcycle. Yeah. And then Commissioner Gordon informs Batman of Mr. Freeze at the Gotham Museum, and they head to stop Mr. Freeze, and Mr. Freeze is freezing a bunch of guards. And then, yeah, Batman and Robin arrive and try to stop Mr. Freeze from stealing a huge diamond. And then Mr. Freeze's goons, which are like an ice hockey team, go in and take on Batman and Robin. And then Batman and Robin then, like, click on ice skates by, like, hitting their feet together, which is stupid. Yeah, and Batman has to try to stop Mr. Freeze, and Robin tries to hit the diamond. Yeah. Then Mr. Freeze tries to escape in a rocket, but Batman is able to make it into the rocket. And as it takes off, Robin is able to latch on to the outside as it takes off. Yeah, Mr. Freeze freezes Batman's hands and like cuffs them to the wall. Well, and yeah, Mr. Freeze is telling Batman that once the rocket gets high enough or something, that his heart will freeze. Yeah, Mr. Freeze then glided out of the rocket back down to Gotham, and then Robin saved Batman and then thawed his hands in from the ice. Yeah, and then Batman then blew up the rocket with a bat bomb, and then Batman and Robin used like some latch doors from the rocket as like surfboards to surf down. It's stupid, and yeah, Robin used some really bad one-liners, cowabunga and stuff. Yeah, Then Mr. Freeze lured them into a furnace that he ended up freezing. Singing, yeah, and then at one point Robin tried to jump at Mr. Freeze to get him, but Mr. Freeze froze Robin as he was jumping. Yeah. And then, yeah, Mr. Freeze escaped as Batman thawed out Robin. Yeah. And then it cut to a plant lab in South America where we have Dr. Pamela Isley, played by Uma Thurman. And she's trying to mutate plants to fight against mankind with a venom serum. And then she sees one of her colleagues, Dr. Jason Woodrow, who was played by John Glover. He is using the venom to make like a serial murderer, Antonio Diego. He made him into the super soldier Bane. Yeah. Yeah, he used the venom to like implant it into him, and it made him a lot bigger and stronger. Yeah. And then, as Dr. Isley sees what Dr. Woodrow did, he's offering her to join him, but yeah, she refuses, and then Dr. Woodrow tells Dr. Isley that he's not good at rejection, and then says she'll have to die. And yeah, he tries killing her by burying her in a bunch of chemicals, poisons, and toxins. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, we then, like, see how Mr. Freeze actually became Mr. Freeze. Yeah, he was Dr. Victor Freeze, and yeah, he showed that his wife contracted the rare disease called McGregor syndrome, and then he froze her in a cryogenic sleep until he could find a cure. And then he ended up falling into a cryosolution liquid that ended up mutating his body, and he now needs extreme cold to survive. And the suit that he wears uses diamonds to keep him at the temperature he needs. Yeah. And then throughout the movie, we see, as Bruce talks to Alfred, we see like him having some flashbacks of when he was a young child. And yeah, the child Bruce Wayne was actually played by Eric Lloyd from like the Santa Claus movies. Yeah, but he doesn't have much of a role in this. Yeah. And then at the plant lab, or the science lab, then we see Dr. Isley emerging from all of those toxins as Poison Ivy, and yeah, she's obviously a lot hotter now. Yeah, and yeah, Dr. Woodrow was like falling for her, and yeah, and she was telling him what the chemicals actually did to her, and then yeah, she then kissed him, and then yeah, afterwards she told him that she was poisoned, and then yeah, you just saw him just like moaning out and then falling back as he died. Yeah. And then as she was trashing the lab, she then saw on a beaker that had Wayne Enterprises on it. And yeah, then somehow her and Bane then join up and head down to Gotham. Then we see Mr. Freeze's lair, and he's in like some abandoned ice cream parlor or something as his hideout. And then he keeps his wife in a special chamber or something where he's in her cryogenic sleep as he's looking for the cure. Yeah. And then at Wayne Manor, then Alfred's niece Barbara visits from England. And yeah, a lot of people have said this before. Where is her British accent? I mean, seriously, she has absolutely no British accent at all. She has a complete American accent. And this, seriously, she's supposedly British, just like Alfred, since she's his niece. Yeah, and yet there's absolutely no form of any British accent in her at all. Seriously, she speaks with a complete American accent. So yeah. And as Bruce, Dick, and Alfred show Barbara around the manor, she he like sees a motorcycle that Dick is fixing up, and yeah, Dick is saying that one day he may show her how to ride it, but yeah, she says that she would never get on a motorcycle, and then we would later find out that he does have kind of a lust for motorcycles, yeah. And then yeah, Bruce invites Barbara to stay with them, and yeah, Alfred was kind of reluctant to it at first, but yeah, Bruce was insistent on Barbara staying with them, yeah. Yeah. And then later on, it showed Barbara sneaking out with the motorcycle, and then yeah, we later saw that he competes in a lot of motorcycle races. He says in an attempt to pay back Alfred for supporting her entire life since her parents died. Yeah. Yeah. And then Poison Ivy paid a visit to Bruce Wayne at Gotham Observatory. Yeah, where it showed Bruce and his girlfriend in this movie, Julie Madison. Yeah, her name is Julie Madison. I said in my Batman Returns video the other day that her name was Julie Matthews. I was meaning to say Julie Madison. Yeah, that's her name, not Julie Matthews. Yeah. And yeah, Poison Ivy paid Bruce a visit in the observatory. Where, yeah, she's asking Bruce to use his fortune and for the national environment and at the expense of human lives, so Bruce refuses to do it. Yeah, and yeah, the Gotham Observatory has a giant telescope unveiled there, yeah. And during all that, Bruce tells Poison Ivy as Dr. Isley that there's a fundraiser going on at Gotham Botanical Gardens that Batman and Robin will be appearing at, yeah. And that's another problem with this movie. I mean, seriously, you have Batman who actually used to hide in the limelight, right, and not really make appearances like this, and now he actually is making like public appearances like that. I mean, what happened? Seriously, I mean, when did the Dark Knight, right, who was like very mysterious, now just is actually making public appearances? I mean, it's stupid. Yeah, and then yeah, Bruce says that he's donating some diamonds to the gardens, and yeah, it was actually a trap to lure Mr. Freeze in, and yeah, Mr. Freeze then and eventually found out about it, yeah. And then we have the fundraiser at the Botanical Gardens, and you have like all these women that men are actually bidding on, and yet they were bidding higher prices on different women. I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, they could bid the same price on the different women that they're going for. I mean, they don't have to like bid higher on different women. I mean, it's like a guy bidding 10,000 for one woman, and then another guy is bidding like 20,000 for another. I mean, why are you bidding more for a woman that the other guy wasn't going after? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And then we see like Poison Ivy like in a monkey suit, and yeah, she slowly like takes it off and reveals who she is to everyone. Yeah. And then yeah, people start bidding over Poison Ivy, and then yeah, Batman and Robin then start to bid on her higher. And then yeah, then that's when we see the Bat credit card. Urgh. Yeah, and then eventually Mr. Freeze then ambushes the event, and then yeah, he then takes the diamond necklace that Bruce Wayne donated. And yeah, he was freezing various people there. And then yeah, Batman and Robin then went to go after Mr. Freeze. Oh, and I should also say, yeah, during this whole thing, like, Poison Ivy was like starting to like blow pheromone dust on various people, including Batman and Robin, and yeah, it caused people to like lust over them. Yeah, and yeah, that comes into light later. Yeah, she continues to do this throughout the entire movie. Yeah. Then Batman and Robin gave chase to Mr. Freeze. Yeah. And then at one point, Batman disabled the Redbird's engine because he didn't think Robin could make the jump. And then, yeah, he gave chase to Mr. Freeze on his own. Then Mr. Freeze then froze the Batmobile. He thought that he got Batman, but Batman actually ejected himself from the Batmobile. Then he captured Mr. Freeze after busting into his vehicle. Yeah. And then it just shows him uncovering Mr. Freeze with his cape. So what exactly did he do to him? Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, Mr. Freeze is then taken to Arkham Asylum, where he's actually watched over by two guards. One of them is actually played by Jesse Ventura, which was kind of cool. Yeah. And yeah, they keep him in a cold beam, and as Mr. Freeze tried to escape from the asylum, as he got out of the cold area, he just like started to convulse, and yeah, he just couldn't go. Oh yeah, yeah, he knew he couldn't live outside the cold. Yeah, 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 and yeah. Then like Robin was complaining at Batman, man, for not trusting him and not letting him do stuff, and he's just saying that him and Batman aren't acting like a team, and that it's always his Batman's way or the highway. Yeah, yeah. Nostalgia Critic said in his review, yeah, you can pretty much just replace all of Robin's dialogue with him just nagging, yeah, 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 yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much true. I mean, that's pretty much all he does in this movie is just nag, nag, nag. I mean, seriously, he's just a big baby in this. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, then. And as Dick was trying to do some research on Poison Ivy to figure out who she really was, he then saw that Barbara was sneaking out again for another on the bike. And yeah, she then went to a bike race where, like, the banker for the race was Coolio, which, I mean, why did they have Coolio in this? Yeah. And yeah, Barbara was racing, and yeah, Dick was also like followed her there, and yeah, he was like racing too. And then, as Barbara was about to like fall off of a like have a huge fall, Dick then stopped her from falling, and yeah, Barbara was telling Dick that this was actually what she does to pay back Alfred, and then yeah, she then and said that she was hiding the pain all along, that Alfred was sick. And then yeah, then Bruce then told Dick that Alfred isn't sick, but he's dying. And yeah, and yeah, and yeah, and Dick asked why didn't Alfred say anything, and yeah, Bruce just said that that he knows Alfred, and yeah, Bruce just said he could tell. And yeah, then Poison Ivy then visited Mr. Freeze in Arkham Asylum posing as his sister, and then she killed the two guards by kissing them and poisoning them. And then it showed in the prisoner's closet where it actually showed the Riddler and Two-Face costumes. Bane then busted in there and got Mr. Freeze's suit back, and then yeah, Poison Ivy and Bane helped Mr. Freeze escape from Arkham Asylum. Yeah. Yeah, first, like, Bane tried to bust the walls, but it was reinforced steel, and then Mr. Freeze ended up freezing the pipes and, like, blowing a hole in the wall. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah. And yeah, Mr. Freeze was running on empty, so he needed the diamonds that he had in his lair, in his hideout, yeah. And then, yeah, as young Bruce was talking to Alfred more about his doctors, and then, yeah, then Dick told Bruce that Freeze escaped, and then, yeah, then Batman, Superman, Commissioner Gordon, and the cops were investigating at Freeze's hideout, and then they saw off Arkham surveillance video that Poison Ivy actually helped Mr. Freeze escape, and yeah, Batman and Robin knew that they were, like, going after, like, falling for a bad guy. Yeah. And then they found Nora Freeze and where Mr. Freeze kept her. Then they were looking at Mr. Freeze's research, and they saw that Mr. Freeze found a cure for the McGregor syndrome in stage 1, and yeah, in stage 2 it was marginal, but he still hadn't found a cure for the phase his wife was in. Yeah. And yeah, as like Poison Ivy was trying to lure Batman and Robin, Mr. Freeze then like turned on the freeze her in the hideout, and then like it brought the cops down. The cops were like weren't able to breathe, and then yeah, Mr. Freeze then and recharged himself with the diamonds, and then yeah, then they were going for Poison Ivy, and then yeah, they saw Bane. They were doing battle with him, and then yeah, and then at one point Poison Ivy was about to kiss Robin again, but Batman stopped it and said that she was trying to poison them. Yeah, and then as like Batman and Robin were getting into a little bit of a physical exchange, Poison Ivy and Bane ended up escaping. And then during that, then Poison Ivy he pulled Nora Freeze's life support plug. Like yeah, and then she like tells Mr. Freeze that Batman was the one that deactivated her. And then after giving Freeze the necklace his wife had, Mr. Freeze bought it, and then he decided that he would destroy Batman and Robin, and then he would also freeze the world, starting with Gotham. And then yeah, then back at Wayne Manor, the doctor told Barbara and Dick that Alfred has stage 1 of McGregor syndrome. And like I said, I mean, why couldn't it just been of old age? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then Robin was letting out more frustrations at Bruce, and then he was saying that he wanted a Robin signal in the sky. Yeah. And then at a dedication event, and the Poison Ivy was talking to Commissioner Gordon, and yeah, she was using some more of that pheromone dust on him to tell him where the bat signal actually comes from, and yeah, he told her that the bat signal was on top of the police headquarters, and yeah, he ended up giving her the keys. Yeah. And then, yeah. And yeah. And throughout the movie, Alfred was searching for his brother Wilfred, and he couldn't find him. And so, yeah, he asked Barbara to try to find him. And yeah, he gave her a disc which actually had his secret. And then, yeah, the disc actually contained the data for Batman and Robin, or yeah, the stuff involving Batman and Robin. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, Alfred told her only family could be trusted. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, Barbara then and decided to search the disc, use the disc herself, since she was family also. Yeah. Yeah, and then she was like used had several attempts to get the password for it, but yeah, and then she eventually did get it, and then yeah, and Poison Ivy and Bane were able to move the bat signal and actually change it to a Robin signal. Oh, and yeah, Robin knew that that was from Poison Ivy, and yeah, Bruce was just telling Robin that she was trying to use him and that he needs to trust him. And yeah, Barbara eventually discovered the Batcave. And yeah, then she saw a computer simulation of Alfred. Yeah, he was saying that he programmed his brain in the Bat computer to create a virtual simulation. And yeah, he knew that Barbara may have wanted to help Batman and Robin, and so he made an outfit on her size, which was obviously the Batgirl suit. And yeah, and then it showed her suiting up. And then yeah, Mr. Freeze then eventually got to the Gotham Observatory, and then yeah, he made the huge telescope into like a freezing gun. Yeah, and yeah, he also ended up freezing 2 of the workers that were there. Yeah, and then Robin eventually arrived at Poison Ivy's hideout, and then yeah, and Poison Ivy told Robin what Mr. Freeze is actually doing. And yeah, then she ended up kissing Robin, but it turned out Robin was actually wearing rubber lips during the kiss, and then instead of actually kissing him again after he took the rubber lips off, she just pushed him into a pond. And then yeah, Batman then showed up, and then yeah, Poison Ivy entangled Batman in vines. And then yeah, then Batgirl then showed up, and yeah, she fought Poison Ivy, and really was not a that big of a special fight. And then at one point, you like Robin trying to get out of the pond, and then he was put back in, but they just reversed the shot of him getting out. Yeah. And then at one point, Poison Ivy revealed that she was the one that pulled Nora Freeze's plug, and eventually Poison Ivy was then trapped by Batgirl in the throne. Yeah, and then Batgirl then told Batman and Robin that who she was, and that she found the Batcave, and then they went to stop Mr. Freeze as he was freezing the city, and it showed Batman, Robin, and Batgirl in silver trimmed suits, just because they didn't even acknowledge that they changed into those. I mean, it's like they weren't even wearing new suits at all. I mean, why were they in different suits? Yeah. And then they tried to thaw the city again with the targeting mirrors, and and as Batman was trying to target the satellites to thaw people by reversing the sunlight or something. I'm not sure what. Then Mr. Freeze did battle with Batman as Bane was trying to go after Robin and Batgirl, and then Robin and Batgirl then kicked the Venom tube, and then the Venom all spewed out, and Bane then slimmed back down to his normal self. And then eventually Batman and attached one of his heaters to Mr. Freeze and knocked him over. And then Batman started to thaw the city. But then Mr. Freeze set off some bombs he planted around the observatory, and then it caused the telescope to collapse. And then Batman was able to thaw out the two workers, and then he got them to safety, and then Robin and Batgirl were able to align the satellites to thaw out the city. And then Batman told Mr. Freeze he was taking him back to Arkham Asylum. And Mr. Freeze wanted Batman to kill him too, like he thought he killed his wife. But then Batman showed Mr. Freeze the recording of Poison Ivy saying she did it, which I don't see how he did. I mean, he obviously did not record that, and especially not the angle. I mean, they showed it at the exact same angle that it was when she actually told Batgirl. I mean, he was definitely not in that position. It makes no sense. But anyway, Batman told Mr. Freeze that they found her and revived her, and she was back at the she was back in her cryo sleep and alive. And he asked Mr. Freeze for what the cure was, for the cure of McGregorson stage 1, and then he gave Batman the vials of the medicine for the cure. And Batman told Mr. Freeze that he would move his wife to the lab at Arkham. And it showed them then putting the medicine into the IV, into Alfred's IV. Then at Arkham it showed that Mr. Freeze was now Poison Ivy's cellmate, and he was going for revenge on her. And then the next morning at Wayne Manor, Alfred was cured, and then it showed Bruce, Dick, and Barbara now embracing each other as partners, and Alfred said they're going to need a bigger cave, and then it ended just like Batman Forever, with them running at the bat signal toward us, and that's how the movie ended. So complete crap of a movie. I mean, it's stupid, everybody knows this. 0.25 stars out of 4. I mean, like I said, quite possibly the worst superhero movie ever, and this was just like the death of the franchise of this Batman series right here. Alright, so that does it for my review of Batman and Robin. Alright, and that does it for the Burton Schumacher Batman movies. So and next time we'll be returning to Superman for a review of Superman Returns, and then after this, we'll come back to Batman for the Christopher Nolan trilogy. Alright, so that does it for my review of Batman Forever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.